Hey everyone, I'm Michela, and today I bring to you a review about 3 books that I read, exactly, in the Avatar universe, or Avatar Chronicles as they call it themselves. And yeah, it's gonna be a little bit a long one, so just feel free to grab your cup of tea or coffee, whatever you like to drink, and sit back, enjoy the video. So starting off with the first book in the Avatar Chronicles, it's The Rise of Kyoshi in English, but as you can see I read it in German, Der Aufstieg von Kyoshi. And maybe if you see me struggle with the titles of these books, it's because basically they're all the same. So there is no difference. I feel like this is The Rise of Kyoshi. I know this is The Rise of Kyoshi, but this is like the dawn of Yangchen. I don't know, I'm so confused as why this is not called The Rise of Yangchen as well, even though it's the same word, but okay. And yeah, so this book basically deals with Kyoshi's upbringing, childhood, and also like her discovering to be the next avatar after Kuruk died. And yeah, also there is some trope going on about a fake avatar. I mean, this is not a spoiler because you basically get it in the blurb as well, and like in the beginning, because we all know it's Avatar Kyoshi, but we're introduced to some Avatar Yoon, who is a guy, and so we know that's the fake avatar. But yeah, it's a very good book. It deals really nicely with tropes like the state of the Earth Kingdom at the time, and how Kuruk left off all of his work. And Kyoshi also like deals with a little bit of feelings of unworthiness and of self-doubt, of lack of self-esteem, etc. So she doesn't really believe at first that she really is the avatar, but as we find out later, like she does come into, you know, accepting that she really is the avatar and that it's right the way it is. And even though, you know, the whole situation with Avatar Yoon was really unfortunate and she's very sorry for him, she doesn't think that he would be a better avatar or that it should have been him in a way, even though she apologizes to him, but it's not her fault, you know? Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. It's a really great book. I read it first on Kindle. I don't know why, to be honest. I knew I would be buying these books, but I was just not very sure. Since I'm a very since I'm a very adamant Avatar lover, I thought, yeah, I would buy these. But out of some reason, I thought I would read the ebook first. And I wasn't wrong. I really loved this book. I gave it 5 stars, I think, and that wasn't hard because I really love everything Avatar related. And also Kyoshi was such an interesting character. Like, there were some parts of it where it was like, okay, this is getting a little bit out of hand. Like all she thinks about is like revenge and the thing about not feeling worthy and all of that, and feeling guilt and whatever was just so ever present in the books that I was like, okay, we get it. You don't want to be the avatar, but you are, so please just get over it and, you know, move on. Also, the thing that I didn't really like about this novel, and, you know, especially in the second novel as well, because I know the first one was meant to, you know, introduce us to the early life of Kyoshi, but I didn't like in general that the books just covered like 2 years of her life. She was under 20 years old when, you know, the novels ended, and I'm like, why? I mean, if you're an Avatar fan, you maybe know that she went on to be 230 years old. Like, that's insane, first of all, but second of all, 2 years is nothing. Like, we didn't get to see anything spectacular that she's known for, you know? We didn't get to see how she created the Kyoshi warriors or the Dai Li, you know, the secret agents of the Earth Kingdom. But also, you know, there were so little things going on. What I did like though, oh, that was my computer, I'm sorry. What I did like though in the second novel is that they talked a lot more about the Fire Nation, like the Fire Nation customs, not in a sense because she has a mission there. Person and with her friends and everything. I actually enjoyed both of the kyoshi novels. I gave both of them 5 stars. But yeah, as I said, I'm really sorry that they didn't have like a time lapse or anything that would cover, I don't know, her later life or in general, you know, the other great things that she did, because here it's just, you know, teenager stuff. I mean, I'm glad that we have these books. It's really nice. I really love them still. I can still recommend it to any Avatar fan, but you know, I expected something else a little bit. So the last book I'm talking about is The Dawn of Yangchen. As you can see in German, Der Aufstieg von Yangchen, so I was a little bit confused why it's not just both, The Rise of blah blah blah, but okay. The Dawn of Yangchen. And you know, I was really excited to read this book. I was really excited for it to come out, to have this story, to learn more about the air nomads in general, the culture, their ways of life, how the world was in Yangchen's era, you know, what was going on, everything like that, just as we had with Kyoshi. Because even though we talked a lot about like Kyoshi's personal struggles and in general what she was going through and the problems she dealt with as an avatar, we still got to see a lot of, in general, the world around her, the world in Avatar Kyoshi's era. Yangchen is before Kyoshi, so she is basically the avatar before Kuruk, who is the avatar before Kyoshi, you know? So they're a little bit far apart in that sense, but you know, it was interesting to see what was going on in Yangchen's world in that time, and how, you know, this also follows her as basically a teenager. She's 17 or something in this book. I know there's going to be another book coming out about Yangchen, probably The Shadow or The Fall or whatever, something like that. I don't know. But you know, the second book, just as we have with Kyoshi. And the thing that bothers me with this book is that we barely ever have a Yangchen point of view, you know, because the Kyoshi novels are entirely with her point of view. Rarely we have Yoon's point of view or someone else's point of view, like rarely, maybe 1 or 2 chapters, that's it. Here instead, we have 50%, if not 60% of the book is in some random guy's point of view. You know, there's this guy Kavik who is a water tribe guy, and he's a waterbender, and he's, I don't know, I don't care about him, you know. I know he's not even really a companion of the Avatar, like we know, maybe, you know, Katara and Sokka in Aang, you know, Avatar The Last Airbender, the series. He's just a guy, you know, that happens to be there and that happens to then maybe work a little bit for Yangchen, but they're not together most of the time, you know. So when we have his point of view, we're not seeing anything of Yangchen, you know. She's just a side character in her own novel. That's what bothers me so much. Why is Yangchen a side character in her own novel? I mean, this book should have been called like The Adventures of Kavik or something like that, you know? Or Kavik working for Avatar Yangchen or something like that, but not the dawn of Yangchen. Like, why? We barely got anything of her upbringing. Like not even the first chapter, it was just the prologue, like talking about her upbringing, that's it. And then the story started with Kavik. Like, why? You know? And also, yeah, that's basically it. That's what pissed me most off. I was also surprised, like, we didn't really get that much about air nomad culture, and just a little bit, you know, just a teeny tiny bit, just the much we got from like ATLA. And also I was kind of surprised by the ways that Avatar Yangchen chose to, you know, interact with the politicians in her era and so on. So I don't know. I gave this book, it was hard to finish it, you know. Kyoshi novels, I finished them. I don't want to lie, I don't know how long it took me, maybe like a week or something, but just because I'm a slow reader in that sense, I can't read a book in one sitting. I get tired really easily, even though the story is interesting and so on. So it's not like I can sit there and read a book all day, you know, all day. I got stuff to do and everything. But I still got along to read the Kyoshi novels, both of them, in a relatively short time. I think I read both of the Kyoshi novels in the time that I read this one book, you know? It took me so damn long. At some point it felt a little bit like a chore because I didn't feel it as much, you know. I liked it still because it's still an Avatar story. I really love everything Avatar related. I still got a little bit to know, you know, about Avatar Yangchen and, you know, air nomad culture and everything going on, stuff like that. It was still kind of interesting, but I was so pissed whenever we had more knowledge, more insight, more POVs of this Kavik guy, you know. We don't care. And one thing that I was a little bit disappointed is that we got one, not even chapter, just, you know, one intersection in which we were talking about Yangchen's sister. She is mentioned also in the beginning of the book, so it's not like, you know, it's not groundbreaking. We get a little bit to know more about the sister, and that was really interesting. The story behind it all, the trauma and everything, because it's not a you know, good old, you know, it's not a good old happy end type of thing. And so that was interesting to read, and I thought, okay, you could have carried a whole plot with that. You could have done something with that. You could have maybe, I don't know, make Yangchen follow this storyline, this plot, whatever, and it would have still been an interesting plot, an interesting story to follow, you know. But okay, I guess. Now I'm really curious to see what they do with the next Yangchen novel, if they continue this path of this lost sister, or what they do with that. And if in the next book they finally give us more insight about who even is Avatar Yangchen, you know. She's funny and everything, she's likable, I like her, but, you know, we don't get that deep connection like we got with the Kyoshi novels, you know. So that is my problem with it. Now, before my light turns off completely because apparently it's not charged enough, I will say goodbye, you know? So I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. And if you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and also comment if you already read the books, the Avatar Chronicles, and if you like them. Also, you know, let me know. Let's have a little discussion, what you liked, what you did not like about the books, what you would have done differently, what you expected and stuff like that, or what you expect of the new Yangchen book novel that is coming out at some point, I don't know. And yeah, please consider subscribing, turning the notification bell on, and this would help me a lot. So please, yeah, if you like this video, you know how to support me. And so yeah, I'm gonna see you in another one. Bye!